was, but it was someone in the movie who was like, this is my brother who we're honoring here, and you're gonna get this kid who's singing goofy songs, because I was a goofball on YouTube at the time. He's doing covers, he's cheesy, and then quite honestly I was cheesy, but I had to prove myself. And I remember I had just signed my record contract, or was about to, and I said to everyone, like, on the conference table, I was like, I'm not going to give you the song if I don't sing it. Like, blah, blah, blah is not singing the song. Blah, 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 option number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is not singing the song. I'm singing the song. And I hung up, and my heart was beating. I was like, oh, my God. And they called me, or my lawyer, like a week later, and we're like, okay, he can sing the song, but he has to do this, this, this. They had no idea that I was producing. I literally produced See You Again and wrote the whole song.
And I guess maybe the compromise, but again, you tell me, was that it was Wiz Khalifa featuring Charlie Puth, and that was the way to maybe introduce you to the world.
Well, I mean, I was always happy to be a feature. It wasn't until they told me that I was going to be the artist. I was happy if Sam Smith sung the hook or Adele sung the hook, but when they said that someone wanted me to be the artist, and then someone didn't want me to be the artist. And now when I run into that person at coffee, they're like, I always believed you. And you're like, I'm sure you did, buddy.
Not at all.
Not at all, but that's fine. I hold no grudges.
But thank goodness you did, though, because I know, quite a lot of artists who don't make that. I mean, the one that comes to mind is BB Rexa with she wrote Monster, the Eminem song, and
Monster.
and Rihanna sung it, and I think she probably regrets to this day the fact that she didn't. Well, I've asked her about it. I think she does, the fact that she didn't just put her foot down and said, no, you want me.
Maybe, but the great thing about BB is that she's such a brilliant writer, and she had so many hits right after that too. I mean, that goes to show you, if whoever's listening to this, if anyone's telling you that you can't do something, just like prove 1,000 times more that you can do something, and then people will understand. But you can't hold. I don't hold any grudge to the people at the movie company who maybe didn't believe in me at first. I really enjoyed working with them, and now they believe in me, and that's great. That's fine.
And it worked out for all parties.
It worked out.
It's fair to
it worked
say.
out. I can buy a house. Like it's great.
I read the story about someone recently selling like a backing singer or something on See You Again. Did you hear about this?
What is that?
Selling like a portion of their royalties for £34,000.
I think one of them got like $100,000.
Oh my God.
So the story behind that is when I was producing out this record, I wrote the It's Been a Long Day. That hook was written, and it was just a piano and my voice. And then I was like, okay, now I know there's gonna be a rapper on it. Let's make this beat knock in. And the post-chorus, I actually have the voice note for the post-chorus. Let me just scroll down to July 2014.
This is so cool that you literally have all of these in your iPhone.
I wasn't planning on...
That is just amazing.
So it's called Swedish Post because it sounds like something Max Martin would do. You can hear the old beat in the background. Little pitchy. Oh God, it hurts. It hurts my heart. But I was so excited because I knew I was picturing the audience. I knew it was going to be such a huge song. Everyone's like, "Oh, did you know it was going to be such a huge song?" Yes, I did, because I just knew. You just know. And I was like, I'm going to play this in arenas, and I want people to go, "Whoa!" with their hands up in the air and lighters and what have you. Children, I don't know, Mufasa. I got all the interns working at the record company at the time. I was like, come in here, you come in here, you come in here, you come in here, not knowing that I would ultimately have to pay these people later. But I needed 8 different sounding voices. I'm like, okay, nobody here can really sing, and you can't let alone sing a B flat. So everybody sing this. Whoa! And they all sang it together, and it sounded pretty silly. And I was like, okay, so this is what Quincy Jones used to do. Back the microphone up, and now, whoa! And then do it like this now. Whoa! And do it like this now. Whoa! And now just do... Just stack a bunch of air and make it sound as like 50,000 people. And 2 years later, they're on the song still, and there's this new American rule thing, a payout, where you can like sell your royalties off or something. One kid got $100,000. It's crazy.
Incredible. But you must feel good about having done that, though.
I do feel good
because you've changed their lives.
I'm like musical Robin Hood.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's the headline. Great. Charlie Puth claims he's musical Robin Hood. My mom's gonna read this and be like, "What did you tell this guy?"
And then, of course, that was a launch pad for you. But then,
huge.
But then the album really was one of the big breakouts of the last few years. It was something that probably happened quite organically because obviously Marvin Gaye was, I think you would agree, a much bigger hit in the UK and Europe.
You know why? Because Simon Cowell was a huge fan of that song.
Yeah.
And somebody I think he told someone on my team that's like was his favorite song ever. It did okay in the United States, but it really was a smash here.
Yeah,
and
was.
Because it was just kind of a cheeky song, and I think the Brits have just like, this like cheeky kind of like take on most things. Like they're serious, but like even their commercials. I wrote this tweet the other day. Like, I love your guys' commercials because it's like they're just enjoyable to watch and they're just all hilarious.
It's just a slight difference in the sense of humor, I think, between the UK and America.
Absolutely. You don't take yourself so seriously, which is
cool.
So
we got that song.
Yeah, you understood what I was trying to imply with that. I wrote that song for CeeLo Green. And
really?
Yeah, and obviously...
Well, he must regret not taking that.
He was focused on other things at the time. So it was originally like, have CeeLo Green and Meghan Trainor sing it, and bam, that's my first, song for somebody else. But her manager at the time was like, CeeLo's not singing this song with Meghan, but you can sing this song with Meghan. I'm like, okay. I mean, sure. I didn't even think about that. It was a completely different song than See You Again, and it's not really the way to start your artist career by introducing yourself in a completely different way. But the album was one of the best-selling albums of like 2016.
And again, maybe conventional. Maybe unconventional. I mean, but it did work, which seems to be the story of your career, really. So keep going with it.
I guess so.
And you've worked with a lot of interesting people. Of course, one of the songs that maybe has become your most familiar now is outside of See You Again, is We Don't Talk Anymore, with Selena Gomez.
Right.
And you were friends with her, right, when you wrote that song?
Yeah.
Some people think a bit
Some
more.
people, yeah, I was friends with her.
Yeah, so Charlie's going bright red right now.
I think it's this water.
Do you talk anymore?
I haven't talked to her recently. I know she just went through that kidney transplant. That must be grueling. That must be hard. Yeah. But I haven't talked to her in a really long time. But she seems very happy, which is I just want her to be very, very happy.
Yeah. So you guys maybe had a bit of a romance, sung a song together, and then you don't talk anymore.
She ended up singing on it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she could relate. When I played her that song, I was somewhere in Asia.
Yeah.
All these stories start with me in Asia. I was playing her the song over FaceTime, and she really, really fell in love with it. And I remember I had to go to London. I was only in LA for a couple days. I had to go to... This is back in the days where I didn't really tell my management that I had to take a break. I was just like, let's do everything, and I'll get super ill. I went to LA for like 2 days after going to Asia, and then I had to go to London the next day. So I only had a couple hours to record her, but she flew over to... I was staying at my lawyer's house at the time. She flew over to my lawyer's house, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I set up this, like a microphone, just like the one I'm talking on now, and surrounded it with clothes to make this fake vocal booth. It was the most unglamorous recording session ever, and I honestly don't think I think she underestimated how good I could make her sound. Yeah. She did a really good job too, but I made her like sound really good on the record. And she heard it the next day and was like shocked. And at that time it was my highest charting song before Attention, of course.
Justin Bieber, did you say "if you" to him on stage? And if so, why?
I did way back when. I have never talked about this before, and I'm fine talking about it. But maybe when I don't remember what it was. about me. I don't know why no one's ever asked me this before. It's part of the We Don't Talk Anymore. We Don't Talk Anymore.
Yeah.
Might have been performing that. I'll say someone. Someone might have been performing that, someone being me. And I might have been just, I wrote the song. Again, me going back to me saying that I have to put every ounce of my emotion into the song for me to get up on stage and sing it wherever I am. And there might have been a lot of emotion that night, a lot of thoughts going through my head, and maybe maybe I shouldn't have said that. That's not really fair to him. But I think we've come across each other since then, and he posted that he liked my song "Attention" on his Instagram, so we've been good since then.
So there's been a bit of a public making up.
Yeah, there's been a handshake.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's sweet. And I do have to ask you, obviously, Charlie, about the love life situation.
It's the only way I write songs. How could you not?
Of course. That's the thing. It's been a big part. And you did reveal recently that you are in a relationship at the moment.
Right.
Is that right?
Right.
And there's been a bit of speculation that it might be
God.
with someone called Danielle Campbell, who used to date our very own Louis Tomlinson.
Do you claim Louis? Is that like...
Of course.
Because that's not an American thing. If I don't say I claim Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, you can.
I
And
can. He's a
would.
good buddy of mine too.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yes.
should definitely claim him then.
Right.
So, is that right?
We're
ask you
just
direct.
getting right to it. So, is it right?
Well, I always just think it's better to just be direct and clear up the rumors one way or another.
I thought my whole thing is I had such trouble when everything just landed into the public, even when I didn't want it to end up in the public. And there were times where I was like, oh, look, I'm with this person. That's kind of cool, because this whole fame thing is still brand new to me. It's just, it never ended well. And it ended with like my mom calling me saying, like, my mom is like I always listen to my mom. She's like the best, and she would always call me and be like, why am I seeing you on this show and this show, and like I'm going to the supermarket and I'm seeing you at the front cover of this magazine. Like people aren't going to see you as the musician. They're not going to know that you produce See You Again. They're not going to know that you produce Marvin Gaye and One Call Away and We Don't Talk Anymore. They're just seeing you for all this stuff. So I just, with all due respect, of course,
I hear you.
I want to just say whatever you read, it's whatever. But like I try and keep everything as.
But you're happy.
That's really all that matters, because when I'm happy, I can make good music.
Yeah.
If I'm unhappy, I don't make good music.
Really, that's the opposite of most artists, to be honest.
It is. I'm a bit of a weirdo. I walk around, talk about boats, and like have like songs in my head at all times. I need to be super happy. So I'll say yes, I'm very happy in my life right now.
One thing I had to ask you about as well, because it's just such a fascinating part of you. You obviously have the scar on your eyebrow, and when you were a toddler, I believe, or around 2 years old, is that
2
right?
years old. That's toddler age, right?
Yeah, you were attacked by a dog in a way that could have been life changing.
One more inch and it would have killed me.
So what happened? And I mean, this is maybe a stupid question, but do you remember anything of it?
I vaguely remember playing on a porch. I know I was 2, but I do honestly remember being on a porch. But that's really it. Everything else is pretty distant.
And what type of dog was it?
A black lab.
You're a baby, I guess you just approach them in a way the dog doesn't like.
I pulled its tail, but apparently black labs it's a really super like nice dog.
Yeah.
And I don't see too many around here, but it's a really, really nice dog. But this dog was like beaten by its owner. Not a nice dog. So I just got in the face of the wrong dog. And this is result of like 400 stitches
insane
of like plastic surgery in 1992.
And do you feel like, even though you were so young, did it have any impact on your life and in terms of what type of person you became?
I'm sure it did. You know, no one's ever asked me that before. I'm sure it did. I think my mom is already a very, very cautious lady, and some of that, of course, is going to rub off on her firstborn son. But I'm sure, in deep in my subconscious, that did affect because I don't like to go certain places where there's like a lot of people. I don't love vicious pit bulls or anything like that, but I still like dogs.
That's good, because dogs are cool.
I'm happy, and I like dogs.
Exactly, that's good. Look, just a couple of quick fire things that there's been rumours about, so just wanted to
clear them up.
So, firstly, do you go to the same gym as Adele?
I do. I'm not going to say the name of it because it's a private gym in Los Angeles, but I do. And Adele is lovely. She said that I was looking rather buff lately.
Well, you are.
I am.
She's right, and she's looking very slim.
She's looking fantastic. She's always, I stole her recipe for her shake. She gets because she's Adele. She gets a special protein shake at the end, and I'm like, hey, can I get Adele's protein shake? I'm the only one at the gym who gets Adele. Jake wants it, but Jake Gyllenhaal wants it, but he doesn't get it.
I mean, you sort of have her to credit just a little bit for your career, because who knows if you hadn't done someone like you.
I'm just afraid to talk to her because I don't want to.
I bet she knows. I bet
she probably does.
She's on it.
I don't get starstruck by anybody, but when she said that I was looking buff, I was like, Adele. I think I actually said thanks, Adele.
And now it is our one final bizarre challenge. This is someone everyone does for us. Okay, and I'm going to give you the lyrics.
Watch it be heinously inappropriate.
No, it's not. It's just it depends if you're good at accents or not.
Okay. Oh, I'm about to offend a lot of people.
So basically, you have to read out the lyrics, starting in your own voice, your New Jersey twang.
Okay.
And then I'm going to throw different accents from around the world at you.
Oh, goodness. Okay. I'm sorry, world. Okay, so I'll start it in my Jersey twang.
Yeah.
I'll admit I was wrong. What else can I say, girl? Can't you blame my head and not my heart?
French.
I was drunk. I was gone. That don't make it right, but promise there were no feelings involved.
Australian.
She said, boy, tell me honestly. Was it really just for show, Bobby? She said, save your apologies. Baby, I just gotta know.
Scottish.
How long has this been going on? You've been creeping around on me. Why are you calling me baby haggis?
And we'll end with some Russian.
How long has this been going on?
That's working.
You've been acting so shady. That's Scottish again. Why can't I recognize a Russian accent?
Charlie, that was amazing.
Thanks.
I honestly, have you ever acted?
Once on a little, I think a TV show that is now canceled.
I reckon you could do it. I reckon you could do it after that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, of course, how long? Available now. Everyone's streaming it. Everyone's downloading it.
Look at the video. You can see me dancing like a moron.
But the album, Voicenotes, it's got a release date now, right?
January 19th. You can pre-order it right now.
Very exciting. Yeah. Amazing. And will we have another single before then, do you think?
I believe you will. 100% produced by me.
Charlie, well, thank you so much.
Thank you
for talking about your bizarre life today.
That is definitely my bizarre life.
It's been fascinating.
Bizarre. I love how we didn't even have to say anything specifically bizarre. He just said, "Okay, everything's bizarre."
It just was.
It just was.
But I love that.
That's fine.
What a great interview, Charlie Puth. So forthcoming for an American star. Very impressed with that. I'm very impressed with him. And it was just incredible to see him flicking through the phone, looking at all of those hundreds of voice notes, which then did go on to create these massive chart hits. There's something a little bit of the Ed Sheeran, actually, of Charlie Puth. Very passionate about his music. Very, very well connected. He's like Jake, meaning Jake Gyllenhaal at the gym with Jake and Adele. But also, I think he's become a success organically and not just because of how he looks, but because of his talent, which is a great thing. So if you enjoyed that interview, which I very much did, there's loads where that came from. All you need to do is subscribe to Bizarre Life with Dan Wootton right now, either where you're listening to this or in your favorite podcast provider. And then you will get to hear for free all of our back catalogue. Loads of great, great interviews. Sam Smith, Ed Sheeran, Liam Payne, Shawn Mendes. They're all just waiting there for you guys to devour, hopefully. Thank you so much for listening to Bizarre Life this week. I'm Dan Wootton, and I'll talk to you next time.